or any other extraneous matters. Consequently, I have today directed the DCI to effect the arrest and immediate arraignment before court of the accused persons named below herein. 1. Henry Kiplagat Rotich, Cabinet Secretary, National Treasury. Kamau Thuge, Principal Secretary, National Treasury. Dr. Susan Jemtai Koech, Principal Secretary, Ministry of East African Community. David Kipchumba Kimosop, Managing Director, Kerio Valley Development Authority. Kennedy Nyakundi Nyachiro, Chief Economist and Head of Europe 2 Division, National Treasury. Jackson Njao Kinyanjui, Director, Resource Mobilization Department, National Treasury. Titus Murithi, Inspector General of State Corporations. Paolo Poselli, Director, CMC de Ravenna. CMC de Ravenna Itinerary Joint Venture Italy, CMC de Ravenna Itinerary Joint Venture Kenya. William Kipkemboi Maina, Head of Supply Chain Management, KVDA. Paul Kipkoech Serem, Manager Engineering Services, KVDA. Francis Chepkonga Kipkech, Tender Committee, KVDA. Samuel Kimutai Koskei, Tender Committee, KVDA. David Juma Onyango, Tender Committee, KVDA. Patrick Kipto, Tender Committee, KVDA. Elizabeth Kebenei, Tender Committee, KVDA. Esther Jepchirchir Kiror, Tender Committee, KVDA. Moses Kipchumba, Ad Hoc Technical and Financial Evaluation Committee, 2, KVDA. Engineer Nelson Korir, Ad Hoc Technical and Financial Evaluation Committee, 2, KVDA. Engineer Isaac M. Kiiru, Ad Hoc Technical, Financial and Evaluation Committee, Team 2, KVDA. Engineer Patrick Kipsang, Ad Hoc Technical and Financial Evaluation Committee, Team 2, KVDA. Frederick Towet, Ad Hoc Technical and Financial Evaluation Committee, Team 2, KVDA. Jotham Ruto, Ad Hoc Technical Financial Evaluation Committee, Team 2, KVDA. Charity Mui, Ad Hoc Technical and Financial Evaluation Committee, Team 2, KVDA. Geoffrey Mwangi Wahungu, CEO, National Environment Management Authority. David Walunya Ongare, National Environment Management Authority. Boniface Mamboleo Lengisho, National Environment Management Authority. For the following offenses. 1. Conspiracy to defraud contrary to Section 317 of the Penal Code, Cap 63, Laws of Kenya. Failure to comply with applicable procedures and guidelines relating to procurement contrary to Section 45, 2B, as read with Section 48 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act, number 3 of 2003, engaging in a project without prior planning contrary to Section 45, 2C, as read with Section 48 of Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act, number 3 of 2003, abuse of office contrary to Section 46, as read with Section 48 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act, number 3 of 2003, committing an offense of financial misconduct contrary to Section 197(1) or I of the Public Finance Management Act, number 18 of 2012, fraudulent acquisition of public property contrary to Section 45(1)(a), as read with Section 48 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act 2003, knowingly giving a misleading document to principal contrary to Section 41(2), as read with Section 48 of Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act, number 3 of 2003 of the Laws of Kenya, willful neglect to perform official duty contrary to Section 128, as read with Section 36 of the Penal Code. I am cognizant of the principle of innocence until proven guilty, the determination of which can only be made by a court of law. The decision to charge is based on the evidence that is available to the DPP at the time the decision is made, that is today. In view of the international nature of these crimes, we realize that we cannot fight corruption on our own, and as a strategy to fighting economic crimes, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution has prioritized the tracing of proceeds of crime.
In the fight against corruption, we must prosecute that fight on the basis of facts. We've heard, for example, that, the government has lost 21 billion in Kimwarer and I don't know, Aror Dam, which is a flat lie. The money in question is about 7 billion. And for every coin that has been paid, we have a bank guarantee. No money will be lost because we are a responsible government. We have engaged every arm of government to make sure that public resources are safe, and therefore the correct information must be used as we target the fight against corruption so that we can nail the true culprits. Sometimes when we say 9 billion has been lost, and then when it goes to court, it is 100 million. The public is asking, what happened to 8.1 billion? So we shoot ourselves in the foot. So as has been said, our commitment as the executive, as the legislature, and as the judiciary, and as has been said ably by the Chief Justice, there is now a mechanism and a synergy around what we must do so that we can deliver for the people of Kenya. We must proceed on that basis and on the basis of factual information so that we can do justice to our country and we can do justice to the use of public resources in the right manner. I thought I should say this so that the narrative that is being built, that everything government is doing is corrupt, we must be sincere, and we must be honest about what is going on, so that we don't criminalize, or we don't bastardize, or we don't create propaganda around every government initiative that is going on.
Is made, that is today. In view of the international nature of these crimes, we realize that we cannot fight corruption on our own, and as a strategy to fighting economic crimes, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution has prioritized the tracing of proceeds of crime, benefits and instruments of crime, asset confiscation and forfeiture. Consequently, these investigations has been phased. To this end, the ODPP has made several international mutual legal assistance requests to the UK and Italy to assist in financial investigations. Once investigations are complete, more charges will be preferred. Being cognizant that corruption always fights back and that there may be elements who may seek to exploit these indictments to instigate social unrest, we have put in place a mechanism to monitor any such attempts, which will be countered with whole of government response. Thank you. God bless. Si imetosha. Nimesoma sana.
Can we ask a question?
Okay.
Yes, I have one question based on previous statements. My name is Ken Mjunga of TV. When this issue came out, we were told there was a conflict in the figure that was given at that time. So conclusively, can we say that 19 billion shillings was lost in this? Conclusively, can we say that? And then secondly, when that amount was touted also, there was the issue of bank guarantee, so that no money was ever lost. Based on everything that you've told us, can we also say that there was never bank guarantee in this?
I think we'll table the evidence in court, and you'll have all the documentations tomorrow for you to review. It will not be fair for me to comment on those issues. I have said what I've said, and I will give you the statements if you want, and you can go through them. But these are issues that will be argued out in court.
Okay. Yeah. But this is fairly public. When you mentioned 19 billion, it's fairly public. So I just want a conclusive response. Was it 19? Was it 20? Was it 7? How much was it?
As I said, I don't want to throw a figure here,
yes,
because I've been beaten on that. I don't want to throw any figures here. I will put it in court, and we will show properly how we've arrived at the figures that we feel have been lost. Yeah. I think that's only fair. And it's also fair for those who will be arraigned in court. Yes.
My name is
Yes.
There is, from your last statement, you said that the government is working to issue of social interests. Do you have reliable information probably that there are some of the suspects might resort to social interests so as either to pay the charges?
You see, we are not taking any chances. Yeah. As you all very well know, you're all Kenyans. This issue has really been politicized. So we are not taking any chances whatsoever.
Okay. And then, secondly, in the list that you read, I've noted that it does not have, it's not a must for Israel, but it does not have senior officials from the Ministry of Water, including there are several CSs who are told they have been interviewed, including...
Yeah, so if the name is not here, it means we don't have evidence to prosecute them.
Okay.
Yeah, simple. That's what it means. Yeah.
Just been text a supplementary question, if you could
Yeah,
allow me.
no problem.
The whole treasury, the top leadership of treasury, are on your list.
Yeah.
What does this mean in a country that we know stepping aside and taking responsibility?
They will have to step aside. This is it's not two ways.
Okay.
These are not governors. They are not. But this is a process that I will write to the head of public service, and they will take.
Has that?
Sorry.
The time you concluded reading the list.
I will do it right away.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you also said that there's a quote. You said that until proven guilty, they are assumed to be innocent. Until proven
Yeah, everybody is.
what's the need of them stepping aside?
Because that's the law. That is the law. That if you are charged and you take a plea, then you step aside. Yeah. And stepping aside is not. You know, it doesn't. You know, if you look at the act, you'll see you're paid some allowances and all that. But it's also up to the individuals. In other societies, in other democratic societies, people who face this resign. But unfortunately, that's not what happens in Kenya.
When do we start? When do we expect to start seeing arrests? Or we need to be
Maybe.
Friday?
No, maybe ask. You can ask the DCI. He's probably arresting them now. I don't know. Sawa. Let me allow you to go and check the arrests.
Yote